Hey there guys, welcome back to the Homestead. My name is Paul. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this charcoal oven. Now this is a system that we originally built back in May of this year. Some of the videos you're going to see has me in a jacket, and it was colder then. So we've been using this system for about 6 months now. And a lot of the systems that we're showing you guys, we try not to show you until they're proven systems. Like the electric fence video that just came out about a month ago. That video was shot after we had been using that electric fence for about 5 months. So we're trying to show you techniques that we've learned over time and they're proven and that you can use. So we're not still modifying them, we're not still in the process of learning them. So this particular charcoal oven here, we use it to make biochar. So what we do is we introduce this into the animals' feed, and it's very good for their system. We're not going to really go over the uses a whole lot in this video or how to make it. But I want to go over how I made this oven here. It's 2 steel drums. It has 3 parts to it. It has the main burning chamber, bottom, then it has a chimney, and then it has a top. So this top is cut out of the chimney portion. And when you're cutting that top out, you have to be sure to cut it out as large as possible. These can come in 2 different ways. Like this one here, you can see does not have a top on it. You can get these with a removable top. Those are kind of rare and they're more expensive. For what this is, you don't really want to spend a whole lot of money on this. I mean, I don't. So this top normally has 2 what they call bung holes in it. And there's 2 holes in it. The ones that I have the 2 holes. So for the chimney portion, let's go over that first. For the chimney portion, you're going to cut out the bottom of the barrel. So if yours already does not have the top, then you're good. It's already empty. So this would be like the bottom of that barrel there. So this was cut out from here, and we're going to save that because we use that in the process. I'm going to make another video of actually cooking the wood and going through that whole process. But I'm just going to show you the importance of this. So you're basically going to cut this through. You're going to save that. The top that has the 2 holes in it, I mean, you can do whatever you want with that, but you don't need it for this process. There's the chimney portion. Now let's go over this. This is a little more tricky. So this top started out with the 2 holes in it. And what I did is I started in one of the holes with a reciprocating saw or a sawzall. And I cut this so that it has a lip, and you need to make sure that on the oven portion, the bottom portion, that you leave a lip on here. So it needs at least a 1/2 inch. I left a 1 inch in some places to be able to hold this. So here's kind of part of the process. When you're burning this and it gets going and you've burned it for the right amount of time and your flames have come down, usually that's between 20 and 30 minutes, you need to seal this system. In order to seal it, this top has to be able to sit on there. So this has to be larger than this opening or else it's going to fall down in there. But in the next video, I'll show you what goes on. But you need to make sure that when you cut that top, because if you cut it too large and that lid can fall in, then you're not going to be able to use it, or you're going to have to modify it, and you don't want to do that. So you're going to cut that smaller than your lid. In some places I did use a grinding wheel, but then I switched over to the reciprocating saw because that was just cutting better. Another thing I did was I ground down all the burrs, because when you're cutting that, you're going to have burrs on there, and you will be going in and out of here to take the charcoal out. So anywhere that I have cut, I went and I ground down the edges so that I don't cut my fingers. Now let's go over these holes on the bottom. In order to make these holes, you're not going to be able to use a reciprocating saw unless you already have a starting point. So what I did is I used 4.5 inch angle grinder with a metal cutting wheel. You don't want to use a grinding wheel, probably know that, but you want a metal cutting wheel. Then I cut 6 inch holes by 1 inch. So they're 6 inch long by 1 inch high, and then I spaced them about 6 inches apart. Now I didn't go through and measure it. I knew that I needed 6 of these holes. So what I did, see, I just visually marked it. Okay, you know, there's one, and then there's one, and I just basically cut it like a pizza. And then I lined up those holes with that. So you need to end up with 6 1-inch holes, 6 inches wide, and then just space those out throughout there. And this is where the air comes in from the bottom. So this is a lot like a rocket stove. So you really want to force air through the burning wood and get it really hot. It's a concentration of oxygen. If you didn't have these holes, you basically have a stagnant area down in there where you can't get oxygen to it. The oxygen would have to come from the top. It doesn't work that well that way. I mean, you can burn in there, but your flame, when you burn in closed barrel, your flame will be on the top portion and then it will burn down. But this you want to burn all the way through. You want the fire to be coming all the way through and touching all of the wood all at the same time. So that's the point of those. Now what I did was I saved those cutouts and I used those tabs so that when I put that chimney on there, what that does is it just reinforces, you know, the stability of that. It makes it so it doesn't slide off very easily. Like I mentioned before on deburring it with the grinding wheel and just taking off those sharp edges, I went through and took the grinding wheel to the screws as well, just in case I'm reaching in there and I didn't want to get hung up on those screws, so I made them shorter and less sharp. Let me point out one thing. When I purchased this, I bought a bunch of these IBC totes and other plastic barrels, and the guy happened to have these as well. Now these have been burned and the paint is no longer on there, but it had a coating on it, and that coating initially gave us some issues. I read the outside afterwards, and it held a type of cooking oil, some kind of vegetable oil in it. So it had a coating inside of it because it was food grade. Now this one here, if you look in here, this one looks like the inside of a tin can, like you would get like peas and carrots. That's how you want it to look. Don't get one that has a particular food grade coating, because you'll have to burn that out. You'll have to waste a certain amount of wood, and you'll have to get that really hot. We didn't know that originally. When we started burning that, we could see that the flames were really black. We couldn't get it to go clear. The reason for that is because it was burning off all that coating. So we actually had to do 2 burns, and we couldn't use that charcoal because it was contaminated. We don't want to give that to the animals. We didn't want to use that for anything else. We ended up having just to throw those 2 batches out. So we wasted that. We're saving you that effort. So when you go to get these, make sure that they don't have the coating in there. If they do, just be prepared. You're gonna have to burn that out first. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you tune in for the next video where we show the use of the system. We show the benefits of making charcoal and biochar. We'll go into that and why we're doing it. And then as well, in that video, we'll also show you how we use this system. We'll do a complete burn. We'll show you the whole process. So stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed to the channel, by the way, we just recently went over 200 subscribers, and we thank you guys for your support. If you enjoyed this video, you like the content that you're seeing, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button, the like button. That really helps us out. That tells YouTube that other people might like this video as well, so then they share it more. And stay tuned. Check that out. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. What was that? Oh, about my T-Rex?